What I can do about it?
Okay, thank you.
You gotta live with it.
And Ms. Wright, I'll ask you to call the roll, please.
Mayor Robinson,
Here.
Council President Jones,
Here.
Vice President Robinson,
Here.
Councilmember Cox,
Here.
Councilmember Huns,
Here.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
City Manager Jackie Gorman,
Here.
City Attorney Scott Walker, absent, Attorney Kirsten Baloo, Latricia Wright, City Clerk here, and all other staff.
Present.
Okay, thank you for joining us tonight. If you will, please stand for the opening prayer and pledge of allegiance by the mayor.
Lord, we come to you today thanking you for this beautiful day and the freedom that allows us to meet tonight. Thank you for taking care of us and for the blessings you have given us. We pray for the council tonight that they will be led by your spirit and that their decisions will be what is best for all the residents of the city. We ask that you provide protection for our police, fire, EMTs as they provide their unselfish service for all of our residents. Protect and provide for our military men and women wherever they may be and bring them back to us unharmed. We humbly ask that you be with Chief Stroh and his wife Susie as they begin another chapter in their lives. We ask that you keep them safe in whatever they may do and continue to grant their needs. Be with Chief Rose as he takes on his new responsibility. Lead, guide, and direct his path and his department as they provide protection for all of us. In Jesus' name we humbly pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 1 on our agenda is additions, deletions, changes, or approval of the agenda. And I am going to ask that we move item 4 before item 2. If you need to know my reasoning, I'll be glad to explain that. If not, I would entertain a motion for the agenda as amended. I move that we get the agenda as amended. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, item number 1, which is now, was number 4. Mayor, Student of the Month. And we'll turn it over to Mayor Jerry Robbins.
Calling Mr. Whitehurst to the front, please. How you doing, man? You doing all right? You been a good boy? All right. Can you smile? Oh, okay. Whip, he is Joyce Bullock Elementary School. He's in kindergarten. And his mom's teacher. Whip, as I said, is a kindergarten student at JBES. He is a serious, as you mostly can tell, and diligent student, always trying his best as everything he does. Whip can at times be very serious, but sometimes he gets the pleasure of seeing his silly side as well. Are you a silly boy? I think you're a silly boy. What makes Whit stand out, however, is his kindness and love for others. Whit takes it upon himself to find ways to make another student's life better and happier in his class. He quite does his own work to make sure a friend in the class who has many challenges has everything he needs first. You like to help out people, your kids? Is it a hard job or not so hard a job? A little bit? Okay, all right. He does this even if it means he has to spend some of his free time completing his own work. Y'all still have recess? You don't work during recess, though, do you? Oh, okay, good boy. Whit has never asked for praise or reward for these kind acts. He does them because that's who he was raised to be.
I know but also on included that he came in first place in the mashed potato mile this year. You ran a mile? All right, brother. All right. Because although he doesn't care to get praise for being kind, he doesn't mind an occasional pat on the back for being fast. So what's your favorite subject in school? It's what? The playground. Okay, so playground is your favorite subject in school, and is that where you learn to run fast, and you ran that mile real fast? You got it? Oh, okay, all right. Now nobody's listening here, but do you like Miss Williams? Is she a good teacher? Yes, sure. Okay. Mom and Dad, they're pretty good too, are they? Okay. Good. Now I got to ask you a question. Take this. This is your student award. So hold on to it. And from, oh, wrong one. Okay, thank you. Okay, try that one. That had your name spelled wrong. And from Domino's, I have a 14-inch, 2-topping pizza. Big sucker. Now, if you want to share it, you can, but you don't have to share it because this is yours. If you want to share it with mom and daddy or whoever, that's fine. But if you don't, you don't have to. Okay. All right. Let's give Whit a big round of applause. Can you stand right over here for me for a minute, please? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Shoot. I got too much stuff up here. Here's a flag of the United States and the Florida state flag pin. And here is a pin of City of Williston. Okay? Thank you. Sometimes I love these names and sometimes not so sure. So I'm sure that I'm going to mess this one up. Is it Burnley? Brandley. I told you I'd mess it up. Come on down. I told you I'd mess it up. I'm sorry. Really, she's in the 4th grade at the Wilson Elementary School. It's pretty. It's very pretty. Brinley is an amazing young lady. She works hard in class and loves to help others. So you like to help others too, huh? Okay. You smile a lot. Okay. She consistently puts the best interests of others ahead of her own. You like to help others too. They need a lot of help. Sometimes, yeah, okay. She has a big heart. She is a friend to all and offers a helping hand to any student or teacher in need. I'm not sure about that. Why do the teachers need help? You don't know, but you have to help them out. You straighten them out when they're wrong. Okay. Teacher need. Okay, all right. Anyway, she always has a smile on her face. Yes. And a positive attitude. We are proud to have her at WES as the student of the month. Now, what's your favorite subject in school? Science. What kind of science do you like the best? It's experiments. Oh, yeah, okay. Have you cut up any frogs yet? You haven't got there yet. Okay, well, that might come a little bit later there when you get into biology here. So just be prepared. And you'll be experimenting with that. Okay? All right. And your teacher, Miss Thomas, nobody's listening. She's a good teacher.
She is, okay. And, anything else you like to do in school? No? What do you do outside of school? You do your homework and play? And what do you play? Oh, okay, all right, and yeah, you do. All of them do. All of them. Here's your student award thing. And here's your Domino's 14-inch pizza. Like I said, you don't have to share that if you don't want to, but you can if you want. And here's your American flag and Florida state flag and the city seal here. So won't you come around? Let's give her a big hand. Okay, guys, if you're going to. All right, let's give them both. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you to those who came to watch the Student of the Month. If you want to depart, we'll understand completely. If not, you're welcome to stay. So this is your chance if you're ready to run. Okay, we're going to move to item number two, which is the retirement presentation to Chief Dennis Strode by Mayor Robinson from the
Bring it on down.
Tennessee County.
Cleaned up pretty good tonight. Cleaned up pretty good. Well, tonight, as most of you know, we are here to bid farewell to Chief Strode and wish him well on his retirement after more than 50 years of service. But first, after he announced his retirement, I was wondering just why he picked now to retire. So I did a little investigation, and here are the results. When Dennis would usually go to lunch, he kept noticing the bill was a little lower. So finally he asked the wait person, was he getting the police discount? The wait person replied, no, I gave you the senior citizen discount. Also, when he backs up a call and was usually first on the scene, he quickly would back up around the corner to wait for a second officer to arrive first. So that officer would have to get stuff writing a report. And lastly, the last time he was at the firing range, he would tell the trainer that if he made him shoot from the kneeling and prone position, that he could get down there. But once I do, you're going to have to figure out how to get him back up. I have the tape. He was also overheard to say that he would enjoy waking up and not have to go to work. So I think he said he thinks he would do that maybe 3 or 4 times a day. So folks, these are some of the real reasons why Dennis had to retire. At this time, when an officer retires, it is customary to present him with a service weapon. The officer's weapon can be very sentimental value. Officers train with their weapon throughout their career. They must regularly clean them, and they wear it holstered on their hip every day. In certain dire situations, it may serve as the only line of defense to protect others or even themselves. Their weapon is one of the officer's tools that they carry. It may not be their most important tool, but it is a symbol of great responsibility for them. So at this time, Chief, I now present you with your service revolver. It's not loaded either. Not yet. Okay. Well, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And I think it's about time now. You got your second bullet. Chief, you will always be welcome. And that, well, that is if you can spare the time. You're no longer cuffed to the job. You are a free person. Well, that's with Susan's permission, of course. But at this time, think of all the lives you have helped in your career. I'll miss you. Thank you for all that you have done and the legacy you have left for the next generation. You have done hard time, and now it's time to enjoy some freedom. No more lights, sirens, or roaring engines. Wishing you just as much excitement in your retirement, but a different type. Life is hard as an officer of the law. It won't necessarily be any easier. Good thing you have a lot of experience to take on your new assignment. And I'm sure that Susie will be giving you some directions. You deserve a wonderful retirement. I sincerely wish you the best as you take on civilian life. You have served, been protected for many years. Now it is time to be served and protected. Congratulations on your years of service. But lastly, that is, if I can get through this thought, retirement is a time for feeling glad to be alive, a time when friendships blossom and enthusiasms thrive, a chance to do the special things you always wish you could. Retirement is a special time for knowing life is good, a sunbeam to warm you, a moonbeam to charm you, a sheltering angel so nothing can harm you. May you always work for your hands to do. May your pockets hold always a coin or two. May the sun shine bright on your window pane. May the rainbow be certain to follow each rain. May the hand of a friend always be near you. And may God fill your heart with gladness to share. Don't go anywhere. I have a little plaque if you can see this. I think it's a very beautiful plaque. Police Chief Dennis Stroh, you have served the city of Williston and Williston Police Department with honor and dedication and selflessness. Now, as the day dawns on the next chapter in your life, may God's blessing be upon you as you follow in his way. And may you find joy and peace as he inspires you every day. April 22, 2022. And at the bottom, it's got R. Gerald Hethcote, Mayor, 2001, 2017. Jerry Robinson, Mayor, 2018, 2022. One more. Yes, dear. This is a little something that my wife and I got you.
that you can take home. And you can unwrap that. You can, if you want to save the card to later. Yeah, please. No, don't mind it, but. And I got it in your favorite colors too. That's it. Yes. You want to say something?
Well, I appreciate everybody coming. There's so many people here, especially one in the gray area, so that, for my mentors, I can really say I learned from my family.
Hey, Dennis, come here. Yeah, one more. From the General Federation Women's Club, get that right, Sharon Oliphant was past state president for the Florida GFWC and is a current member of the Williston Women's Club. And I think you have something, Sharon.
I just want to thank you for your service to Williston. Williston Women's Club has been around for over 100 years as a civic organization, and we just thank you.
Okay, now you can sit down. I know you need to rest.
Now we're going to move on our agenda to item 3, which is the swearing in of the new police chief by roll.
Well, come on, don't just tell me. Yeah. On Tuesday, March 8, 2022, Sergeant Mike Rose was approved to become the next chief of police to lead the Williston Police Department. It is my pleasure to welcome Chief Rose to this department. The chief brings with him a wealth of firsthand operational and administrative experience gained through his 31 years of patrol, investigative, and command experience in the profession. I am confident that Chief Rose's impressive history, coupled with his community-oriented leadership focus, will make him an effective leader of the WPD, in addition to an effective community-minded ambassador for all the residents of Williston. In the years ahead, there will be many new issues in Williston that will confront the department as our city continues to grow and thrive. With these opportunities also comes challenges. When Chief Rose officially assumes the role of chief, he will be a part of the community, a community that we are lucky enough to call home. In fact, he is in the process of building his new home just outside the Williston city limits. I believe that Chief Rose possesses the experience and leadership to help ensure the protection of and to serve everyone in our community in an equal and just manner. I am honored to swear in Chief Rose to this important role in our community, and I know that his dedication and experience will serve the city and all of us well in the years to come. Come on up. Let's do this. No. We're right in there. The Bible. You got the Bible? Raise your right hand. I, Mike Rose,
I, Mike Rose,
a citizen of the state of Florida
a citizen of the state of Florida,
and of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully perform to the best of my ability
that I will faithfully perform to the best of my ability
the duties of Chief of Police for the city of Williston, Florida,
the duties of Chief of Police for the citizens of Williston, Florida,
and that I will support and protect
and that I will support and protect
and defend the Constitution and government of the United States of America
and defend the Constitution and government of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Williston,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Williston,
on which I am about to enter, so help me God.
which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations. Okay, don't you go anywhere. Don't you go anywhere. Got this real nice, shiny new badge. Who's gonna do the honors?
Yeah, my son's gonna do it.
Right.
His hands a little sweaty. Try him off. I didn't wear a vest. Good job.
I know.
Yeah, there you go.
You got a first aid kit, Lamar? Have you guys ever done this before?
One down. Let me see if I got some glasses. Oh,
One other thing. Here's your bullet.
Did you wax that one?
Wait a minute, wait a minute. It's your oath of office. And your promotion. It says you're promoted to chief of police, so I guess it's official. Sharon, you have something for him also?
We first met you, a while ago, but you came to our meeting last month, and you just came right in, and he took on two, guardian ad litem children that night. He adopted them, just coming in and being a part of our meeting, so. Again, token of our appreciation for what you're going to do for us and continue to do. There's a coffee mug in there for you to toast your coffee in the morning if you're doing that at home. And for you to sit on your desk when you take it. So we appreciate you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Here, you can do this later.
You can open that. And that's for your new house.
I'm like a kid, you just rip it off.
There you go. And that's for your new house. All right. Now you gotta pick up your garbage here.
Yeah.
You want to say something? Speak.
I had this memorized until I got up here and I got really nervous. So I said, I'm not going to try to do it from memory. I've been practicing all day looking in the mirror, fixing my tie. But time has come for me to just say it. First of all, giving honor and glory to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. It is an honor to stand here tonight as the new Chief of Police for the great city of Williston, Florida. I want to thank you, Chief Stroh, for your many years of dedicated service to this community. I want to thank the City Council, Mayor Jerry Robinson, for giving me this great opportunity. I would like to thank my mom. Where's she at? Where'd she go? If it wasn't for my mom, I would not be the man that I am today. They say behind every great man is a superwoman, and she is a superwoman. So, Mom, thank you. My family and friends for always supporting me. To my first responder brothers and sisters, they're all around the room, thank you for coming out and showing your support. I'm looking forward to working with the men and women of the Williston Police Department, the mayor-elect, Mr. Goodman, which I've seen somewhere in here. There. City Council, State Attorney's Office, our surrounding brothers and sisters in law enforcement to enhance the community and continue to provide the great quality of life which you so deserve. As the Chief, I want to assure you that my goal for the Williston Police Department is to be more efficient, more effective, and highly respected. With that being said, in closing, it is my wish that God bless you and keep you, and that God continues to bless the great United States of America. Thank you.
Once again, you have an opportunity to escape. We have a large foyer. We have a large foyer if you'd like to continue the conversation and celebration. If not, you're welcome to stay, so please don't think you have to leave. We're getting down to the bad stuff
I promise you, I ain't gonna do nothing like that. Yes, sir. You gotta be like speed up. I won't say speed up. I say pull off.
If you will, please exit to the foyer. If you are leaving, please go to the foyer.
Thank you for letting me get that spot. No worries.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 5-minute recess so everybody can participate. Back in 5 minutes, I will be 6:40.
What you have to do is talk to the city clerk. Patricia writes to Florida.org. Send her an email and you will respond. If she doesn't, let's do this. How you doing, sir? Let me get
Leo, can you close that door for me? Is Leo here? Somebody close that door for me.
How y'all doing?
I did. If anybody would like to come forward, we would love to be able to see your lights of your eyes.
Same second.
Are you ready? Okay, we're going to reconvene this meeting at 6:43. And we are to item number 5, which is, we're having the Mayor Jerry Robinson show today, because now we have a proclamation for Water Conservation Month on Mayor Robinson.
Proclamation for the City of Wilson, Florida. Whereas water is a basic and essential need of every living creature, and whereas the state of Florida water management districts and Wilson are working together to increase awareness about the importance of water conservation, and whereas Wilson and the state of Florida has designated April, typically a dry month, sort of, when water demands are most acute. Florida's Water Conservation Month to educate citizens about how they can help save Florida's precious water resources. And whereas Wilson has always encouraged and supported water conservation through various educational programs and special events, and whereas every business, industry, school, and citizen can make a difference when it comes to conserving water, and whereas each business, industry, school, and citizen can help by saving water and thus promote a healthy economy and community. And now therefore on this 5th day of April 2022, it is resolved that by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of Wilson, I do hereby proclaim the month of April as Water Conservation Month. Wilson is calling upon each citizen and business to help protect our precious resource by practicing water saving measures and becoming more aware of the need to save water. Passed and to be adopted in this regular session this 5th day of April 2022.
Yeah. Okay, and item number 6 is a proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 10th through the 16th.
Dispatch. You can smile, not that bad. Okay, this is a proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 10th through 16th, 2022. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. When an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is crucial to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the public safety telecommunicators for the city of Wilson, which we have one of the best crews around, perform a critical function and are a key link in the public safety chain, which protects all of us, and are constantly striving to improve their emergency response capabilities through leadership, training, and dedication. And whereas the public safety telecommunicators serve our citizens daily in countless ways, the work of these unseen first responders is invaluable in emergency situations, and each of these dedicated men and women deserve our heartfelt appreciation. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters in Wilson rely on their knowledge and professionalism as they make critical decisions, obtain information, and quickly dispatch needed aid for the citizens who call the City of Wilson Communications Center. And whereas our public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. Each one exhibits compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job each and every day of the year. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of the city of Williston have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas by the United States Congressional Proclamation, the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials International, a worldwide telecommunications organization composed of more than 100,000 people engaged in the operation, installation, and design of emergency response communication systems, has set aside the second week of April to recognize the contributions made by telecommunicators and their crucial role in the protection for everyone's life and property. And now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Williston does hereby commend the city of Williston public safety telecommunicators for their commitment and steadfast devotion in providing service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And be it further resolved that the mayor and the city's council does hereby proclaim the week of April 10 through 16, 2022 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the city of Williston to honor the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. Presented this 5th day of April 2022, City of Williston, Chair Robinson, Mayor. No.
We appreciate you all, and we thank you for coming to our meeting tonight. Yes, we know you're there, and you protect our fellows every day, and our gals, for that matter. We do appreciate that. Okay, we'll move to item number 7 on our agenda at this time. It is the first opportunity for the public to make comments to anything that is not on the agenda tonight. You have 5 minutes. If you'd like to speak, please come to the podium and state your name and city of residence.
Good evening. My name is Sean Brewer. I live in Gainesville, Florida. I'd like to start off by congratulating Chief Stroh on his retirement and congratulating Chief Rolls on his new position as Williston Police Chief. I just want to take this opportunity to introduce myself to you. I am a candidate for the 8th Circuit Court Judge spot. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up in Seminole, Florida. A couple hours south of here, and I moved up here in 1989 to go to the University of Florida. I received my bachelor's, my master's, and my law degree at the University of Florida. In 1991, I met my wife, Laura Quisling Brewer, who is an Alachua County resident. That's where she spent almost her entire life, and that's where she went to both elementary, middle, and high school. And we got married in 1995. We're about to celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary. My first job is actually someplace that Chief Rawls is familiar with. I was an assistant state attorney in Ocala for Brad King from 1998 to 2002. And my work there was focused on, and what became the focus of my career, in crimes against women and children. I did a lot of work there, and then in 2002, I actually came to Levy County as an assistant state attorney. I worked here from 2002 almost up until 2005. And my job here was to do half of the felonies in Levy County, which included all the crimes against women and children. So that was when I had my first child. I have 3. I have a 19-year-old who's at the University of Florida, I have a 17-year-old that's in high school, and I have a 14-year-old that's in middle school about to go to high school. And so after I had my second child, I moved into the Alachua County office. My wife's family is still in Gainesville. We live very close to them, and we've stayed, even when I worked in Ocala, I was commuting. We've always stayed in Alachua County. So I've worked in Gainesville since end of 2004, and I went in as a prosecutor in the Crimes Against Women and Children Division. I did that for a couple of years, and I became a felony division chief in Alachua County. Then I became the division chief of crimes against women and children. I did that for a decade. And then 2.5 years ago, I became the division chief of our major gun crime unit. And I did that for 2.5 years. So as an assistant state attorney, I had prosecuted all kinds of violent crimes, including robbery, burglary, and murder. I've tried multiple murder cases here in Levy County. I've handled murder cases in Gilchrist. I've tried multiple murder cases in Alachua County while handling many murder cases, both in crimes against women and children, and gun crimes, and some crimes that didn't involve either, but did involve murder. So that's kind of my professional background, what I've been doing for the past 24 years. Personally, like I said, I have 3 boys. My community involvement has been, for the most part, coaching sports teams in our community. I've coached about 125 different sports teams between 3 kids in all different kinds of sports, starting with 3-year-old YMCA, little kids stuff, all the way through middle school. I've not jumped into the high school coaching waters on purpose. And with my son being in 8th grade and about to go to 9th grade, I've coached the Lincoln Middle School baseball team, but now my coaching career is pretty much over. So I'm just at the point now where my professional career and my community involvement have kind of met at a place where I believe that I am an asset to the bench for the circuit, for 8th Circuit of Florida. I'll be around if anybody has any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Thank you all for your time.
I appreciate you coming. Anybody else for this agenda? Yes, sir, please come to this.
Go ahead, sir.
Either one would be good. If you will, state your name for the record and your city of residence.
Yes, thank you, Billy Hyman. I play the chief of I'm running for County Commissioner District 4. I'd like to just tell everybody a little bit about me if I could.
Yes, sir, you got 5 minutes.
I've been in Levy County for 53 years, graduated from Chief High School. I then went to IBEW Local 349 Electrical School in South Florida. Came back here, been in business for over 35 years. As a electrical business, I employ about 10 people in Levy County. I'm also the chairman of the Levy County License Board. I've been the chairman for 15 or 20 years. I'm not sure exactly how long I haven't actually remember, but I also was involved in the CAAA, which is Chief of Area Athletic Association. But my kids were young. I have 3 kids, and I did that for about 20 years. And I've been married for 29 years, and we have 3 kids. And the reason that I wanted to run, I just felt like that since I'm in business in Levy County, and I worked in Wilson, Ross, I worked there for being electrical business. And I just felt like we needed somebody in there that was involved in the community in all parts. So I'm on the roads. That's what I do is electrical work. So I'm always in all the towns, all the time. So I just felt like being everywhere like that would be being worked down. So
We appreciate you coming. It's nice to put a face to the name.
yes, ma'am. Thank you
We
very
do
much.
appreciate you coming to Wilson.
And one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I always work really hard to build my business up. And if Levy County residents give me an opportunity, I'll work hard for them too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is LeBron Martin, and I too am a candidate for circuit court judge. The circuit is a large one, but I want to make rest assured that it does include Levy County. A little bit about my background. I'm married to my wife, Alicia, for 24 years. I have 3 sons, Jared, Elijah, and Jason. Elijah is the one that's still with us. He's in the 8th grade now. So getting a bit of an empty nest now. I've been an assistant public defender in Alachua County for 24 years. I've been a felony division chief there for about a decade now. I've also been an instructor at the University of Florida College of Law in the area of criminal law. Why am I running to be circuit court judge? I think me coming here tonight was very apropos, but this was a moment of transition, a moment in which a community invested trust in the individual, invested trust in for their public safety, trust for a commitment to their community. And after all these years, that's when, in my town where I live in Gainesville, Alachua County, that's what I've always strived to do. I've been very involved in my son's life. I've been a Cub master. I've been a trustee at my church. Community is very important to me. And if anything I've learned over my lifetime is that you need to be the best that you can. If you are able to serve, you need to step up and serve. And that's why I'm here to ask for your trust that I am more than capable of being a next circuit court judge. And how do you trust someone? When you get to know them. And I'm going to ask you to give me the opportunity to get to know you. Over these next 4 months or so, I'm going to be traveling to the circuit. I'm going to come to this community. I'm going to reach out and ask you to shake your hand. I want you to ask me questions about my background, about my judicial philosophy. And I hope at the end of that process, you will trust me to protect your community, to protect the Constitution, but most of all, to serve the community in a fashion that's consistent with the values that I've seen here this evening. And I know at the end of the day, you will find that I can do those things. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else for this agenda tonight at this particular time? There is one other opportunity at the end. I'm not sorry. There is one other opportunity at the end of the agenda if you would like to go there.
Yes, my name is City Frazier, City of Lewiston. And I have a concern about the first station that's going up in Lewiston. No one notified me with you. It's putting there. We just wondering, they said that they're gonna move it from 9th Street over to where the detention pond is at. And so we are wondering, what's gonna be done with the detention pond or where it's gonna be put at over there.
Okay, this is not really a time for question and answer. I don't know if the staff is prepared to answer that question because this is just strictly to let us know. If you want to leave your name and your number, we'd be glad to get back to you with the answer on that question. So tell me a little farther, it's the new, would that be station, would be number 4, number 6? Number 4, okay. I knew it was one or the other. So station number 4 is the one you're concerned about, and are you really moving it? There's a possibility that might be it. Okay, so if you would like for us to gather that information for you, if you will see Ms. Wright and give her your contact information, whether it be an email or a phone, whichever you'd like to give her, we would be glad to get back to you with the answer to that question.
Okay.
That'd be okay? Anything else you'd like to add?
Just, I had a problem with the surveying of my property. It's joined with that detention pond for a long period of time. And the city didn't want to maintain part of that retention pond because they were saying that it's part of my property. But now that surveying has been done, it's clear that it's the city property. And we'd like to have, maintain a little bit better than what it is. I'm saying, especially up to the fence line.
Okay, I will take an interest in that, and we will definitely let you know that. I'm not aware of the location myself, but I'll definitely look into that as well. We will talk to the staff about that and get back to you on it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you very much for coming. Anything else at this time? Okay, we will move then to the consent agenda, which is item number 8, which consists tonight of the city council meeting minutes of March 22nd. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the minutes or correction. I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second, is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item number 9 is old business. The first item on the agenda is the staff, board, and council updates, and we'll begin with Ms. Corbin. You don't have to get, there you go. Okay. I can't hear you.
Hello.
I hear that.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I don't have anything. I've been just back from a few days off vacation. I want to thank staff for keeping it together and came back and we're pretty busy, but I don't have anything for y'all tonight, but thank you.
Okay. Anything from the council? Mr. Ross, anything to add? Mr. Mayor? Councilor Robinson? Councilor Cobb? Councilor Hines? No, not at this time. Okay, we'll move to the staff. Anything at this time from staff? Any announcements from staff? I see none. All right, we'll move on to new business then. Item 10A, Resolution 2022-19, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, to enter into a land agreement with DNN Equine Recovery LLC for a 1.002 acre tract of land at the Wilson Airport as described in the land lease, repealing all resolutions in conflict and providing a safety. Mr. Steele.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. This is just a resolution for the company DNN Equine Recovery. We had a discussion about this company a few months ago and the proposed site and everything, and this is what we brought back. They're ready to sign a lease. They're actually on the way. I don't think they're quite here yet, but they wanted to be here just for the discussion and everything. But it's a pretty straightforward land lease. They plan to be in operation, I believe, before Christmas. The building and the incinerator or furnace or whatever they call it is supposed to be delivered in October. So they're trying to be in operation by December.
Any questions, Mr. Steele? I'll entertain a motion for resolution 2022-19.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 2022-19.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10B, discussion with possible action, approval of the FAA application for the lighter than air transient turf apron project. Is Mr. Price here from Passero? I did not see him. You don't, okay, and we'll give it to Denton then. Go for it.
Yes, ma'am. So this particular item is it was initially put on here as a placeholder. We held a bid for a project that we're doing. It's an FAA funded project for airships or airship mooring area. It'll be located on the field or the hay field right across from Mayo Fertilizer. It's currently in land lease with Mr. Mills, and it's going to have, for this particular project, it's going to have very little impact on Mr. Mills' hay lease. There will be some leveling that will have to be required for it, but essentially what this project is going to encompass is putting a lighter than air ship or an airship or a blend, whatever you want to call it, tie down area on the Wilson Airport passing lane. And also our approach plates and everything else. So this will be an item that airships and other companies will be able to physically see at Wilson Airport now, and not just know that there's big open field where we can have it. There will be a designated spot where airships can tie down at the Wilson Airport. And it's a completely funded FAA project.
I like that.
Pretty good.
Three is always good. Okay, so, Are you looking for consensus tonight? Are you looking, I don't see a resolution, do we need a resolution? I would think everybody.
Right.
Okay, so you'll do it later.
I believe that it was a time sensitive matter, and that's why we put a placeholder in here.
I mean, I see it says for possible action, so it was an agenda item. I just didn't know, I'm looking at legal and see if a resolution is required.
We will need to enter into a contract with the bid winner.
Right.
And the contract was being finalized, but I don't think it quite made the cutoff for the actual agenda. So
Are we okay to vote on it at this time? That's fully.
You can make, you can have a consensus vote as far as the application right now, but until we have the contract and I've been able to review it, I would suggest that we vote to enter the contract.
That's what I thought, I want to make sure.
Right.
Okay, so we can entertain a motion to agree and consent to enter into a contract for this purpose. Because we don't do the bid of this yet, right? I mean, we enter the bid. Or do we?
And you just want to get a packet on your table, have a resolution that you sent over.
Or like the big packet?
Yes, ma'am. You should get contract for Whitehurst.
Okay. Okay, so that's the small packet. This one's the one about. It's the small one, it does say BE Whitehurst and Sons. Okay, so we have put it out to bid, they won the bid.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not really so much as in concept as approval.
Correct.
Having not have.
There was a question raised by Ms. Hines.
Sorry, it sounds like it's all together then.
Sorry. The question was, what does time sensitive mean? How quickly do we need to, can we have some time to review this? The application deadline will be April 18th, I believe. So that's why we're trying to get it done rather quickly. Yes, sir.
We don't have another meeting. Yeah. Okay, so. Hate to do it, not having read it. But have we won the bid yet? I mean, it's completely FAA funded, so we've got the money.
Yes.
It's already been awarded. Or will be awarded if,
Once the contract, it will be.
okay, so it's a done deal as long as we got the contract.
Yes.
What you're saying, so we don't have any time there either. Just trying to figure out where we might have some time.
If I just make a suggestion, are we not, meeting on the 12th? Most people will be here on the 12th, we can call a special meeting and have it to, that agenda. Just a resolution on this contract. I promise I'll have it reviewed by then.
Well, we don't normally do business on that night, but if everyone is in agreement to do that. Okay, so is the 12th be okay for you?
I believe so.
Good. You think so? Okay. All right, so we'll table this and put it on the meeting of April the 12th. Thank you. Anybody has any questions between that and when they have, please ask them of Mr. Steele. Okay. Are you the next one as well?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are. So we're going to move then to the next item C, Resolution 2022-21, a resolution for the City Council of the City of Wilson, Florida, approving the assignment of lease and accepting an assignment between Force Multiplier LLC, N15JT LLC, and City of Wilson for property at the airport identified as hard stand number 9, authorizing the City Council President to execute all necessary documents and providing an effective date. Mr. Steele.
Yes, ma'am. Currently, Hard Stand number 9 is under lease by a company by the name of Force Multiplier. What this resolution will do is allow for the assignment and acceptance of lease from Force Multiplier to 15 Juliet Tango LLC, which is Force Multiplier is actually being reconciled from one company to another. if you look at the agreement, the sign or the signatory is the same guy on both. It's just a company reconciliation from one LLC to
I
another.
tried that, but I couldn't read the signature on one. The other one had the name.
Yes, ma'am.
Couldn't tell it was the same one.
It is the same signatory. So it's one of the same guy, and as soon as we can get this completed, from my understanding, he's gonna push forward with, putting his permit in, building a hand on ours. The building has actually already been delivered, he just hasn't done any of the permitting paperwork, he was waiting for the reconciliation.
And it's just the one down and around the corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good, all right. Just making my motivation. All right, so you've heard the explanation. Any questions for Mr. Stegall before we entertain a motion? Would entertain a motion for resolution 2022-21.
I move that we approve resolution 2022-21.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Okay, the next one is yours as well. Are we waiting on this one? No. Okay, I guess we'll do it. Open public hearing at this time. We all do, for ordinance D 2022-695, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, adopting an amended fee schedule relating to the Williston Municipal Airport, repealing all ordinances in conflict and providing an effective date. Mr. Stegall.
Yes, ma'am. So what this ordinance is it's obviously an amendment to our current fee schedule. Our current fee schedule is a little dated. And the amendment to the fee schedule would allow us to more or less streamline the process and get in accordance with company standard or with the industry standard. Now, I know in your packets you didn't have the new fee schedule, but I placed a copy of the new fee schedule on everybody's seat. And if anybody in the audience would like one, I have one for just about everybody. But what the big scope of this fee schedule takes it from a kind of a chart-based fee schedule to a flat rate for bulk hangar space. And what that means is the old fee schedule, there was a single engine piston, twin engine piston, small jet, medium jet, large jet spot, and then you went all the way across this line. So was it for nightly tie down, monthly tie down, bulk hangar, and there were fees associated with each of those, and they were flat fees. So what we did at the airport was we took a study that the state did in 2013. They basically compiled data from every airport in the state and said, these are the rates that most airports are charging. And we found, for vacant land, the state average was somewhere around 22 cents per square foot for land leases for a hangar. Obviously, we went a little bit lower than that. We went to 14 cents because the North Central Florida rate was 11 cents per square foot, and then we just CPI'd it from 2013 to present day. So that was how we came up with that one. The T hangar under monthly rental is another increase. We didn't actually change our T hangar fee from what it originally was, the 250. We CPI'd it from what it was to present day, and that's where we came up with the $300 a month. But again, the big change is going to be your bulk hangar monthly fee. We went from that kind of flow chart, finding what airplane goes where on the flow chart, to a flat rate, $3.45 a square foot per airplane. So no matter what your airplane is, you come in, you say, all right, this is my airplane. We find the length, the width, and we charge per the square foot. Here's your new price, or here's your price. It streamlines the process, and it uncomplicates things for the newer staff that doesn't know, which is which. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, how much would you charge me for the hangar? And we've had this in the past where newer team members didn't know what that aircraft was. For instance, Falcon 900 is a very large jet. How much for monthly tie down for this? $400 a month. We didn't even have the capacity to hangar that aircraft. Nor was a large aircraft on the schedule for a hangar because we didn't have it at the time. Now that we do, we need to come at this with an industry standard. So this number, 345, was found in that FDOT study for rates that FBOs charge for hangar space, for bulk hangar space. I did not CPI this rate because typically North Central Florida is behind the curve when it comes to rates. So given that this was the mean, the state mean, the state average, I didn't want to CPI it because we're typically below that, and bringing it up would kind of throw that out of balance. Right. The biggest thing that we're going to see for something like this, if you look up here, for a couple, on the cost comparison breakdown, you'll see that there is very little consistency with a couple of different aircraft of the same size or same relative size. This removes that altogether. So we had a couple of different guys that were coming in at different times and saying, "Hey, what's my rate for this? Oh, this is this aircraft. Relative size is a small jet." And okay, you're coming in at a lower rate. All right, cool. Of course, they're happy with that. But it really overall, it doesn't bring their price up too terribly much. And then we spoke to several pilots around the area and several people that are very knowledgeable about the industry about, hey, does this number make sense for Willis? And one of the gentlemen that actually owns a couple of hangars that are here at Willis and said, whatever you think your price is going to be, double it. And you're still probably too low. So if you would go back up. So if you look at the chart, 7-1 Lima is about halfway down. It's a Cessna Citation 501, right? For that aircraft, with the new fee schedule, we're charging just about $600, it's going to be $590. In Gainesville, that aircraft is looking to be somewhere around $1,250 a month. So while we are raising our rates a little bit, we're still taking care of our customers that are still here and taking care of ourselves at the same time. We're not trying to push anybody out by any means by throwing prices way up. We're just trying to take care of the airport business. Any questions?
My only question is, does the fee schedule have to be part of the ordinance, or can it be adopted by resolution?
The previous fee schedule was adopted by ordinance, so in order to change it, we'll need a new ordinance.
If we do a new ordinance and repeal the old one, as we stated tonight, can we not put the fee schedule as a resolution, so we don't have to change an ordinance every time we change the fee schedule?
I can look into it. Generally, we have, generally the rule with ordinances is that if it's a long-term financial decision that the city is making, then it's by ordinance. Otherwise, it can be by resolution. I think that this may straddle the line, but I would have to take a little bit deeper dive into that area in order to give you a firm answer.
And the reason I bring the question up is because we have other ordinances that have fee schedules that are attached by resolution.
Right.
And I don't know why and you don't have to go back through the two review process and advertisement, all that, in order to change the schedule.
And I would agree that's definitely something that we should look into. So it was something that we covered for it. This packet came out and had to kind of completely change it around so that we were in compliance. So I can definitely take a look at that, see how we've done it for other fee schedules, and make sure that everything's in compliance with what it's actually meant to have to.
Okay, so if we pass this ordinance on first reading as is, we can change it on second reading if need be.
It can be changed at any time, yes.
Without going back through the process. I don't want to have to redo that all over again. So can we change it on second reading?
If it's a substantial change, then it will need to go back for first reading.
How does anybody else feel about it?
So this could be rather, they take up 100 square foot, or 15 square foot.
Yes, in the bulk.
In the bulk, in the bulk.
Now, the T hangers are a little bit different. The T hangers are based on size. Our T hangers are small, according to the FDOT study, which that 250 mark came in on that, which is why we just CPI'd the smallest bracket or the small bracket, and brought those up to the standard, or what the standard should be, rather. I forgot the most important part of this, is what's where's the rubber meet the road, what's the dollar to make sense of all of it. For an annual increase, well, Tricia, you would scroll down just right here. Annual increase from what we have on hand, from the aircraft that we have on hand in T hangers and in the bulk hangers, is something to the tune of $53,000 in increased revenue just by doing this. And that's with no changes to the aircraft that we have on hand. And I've been told, if somebody leaves and opens up the spot in the bulk hanger, let one or two people know, and they'll fill the hole very good.
This is a public hearing, so I'll ask the public if they have any comment. If they'd like to add anything to this particular issue that we are discussing. If not, I'll ask the council if they have any other questions for Mr. Spiegel, or if you have any recommendation. I guess at this point, we're in need a motion for approval on first reading. I move that we approve first reading.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for ordinance 2022-695. Any other discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will close the public hearing this time. Item E, discussion of possible action appointing Zach Bullock to the Levy County Tourism Development Board. I was called by County Commissioner Matt Brooks, and I was told that we needed someone to take empty seat. If you know that Williston, as the largest city in Levy County, has an automatic seat on that board. And Mayor Robinson has been filling that seat for the last, how many years? 24 or 5. And at this time, Commissioner Brooks has asked that we appoint Mr. Bullock. My only question to him was, have you talked to him about it? And he said he had, and that he was a willing participant. So I would entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Zach Bullock, or recommend the appointment of Commissioner, City Council Member-elect Zach Bullock to the Levy County Tourism Development Board.
I make the motion that we accept.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Can't back out. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I also have served on that board for many years. You don't have fun doing that. It's a great board. Okay, we're down to item number 11, which is public participation. This is your second and last opportunity for the public to speak to anything that is not on the agenda. You have 5 minutes if you would like to come to the podium to speak. Anybody online? Mr. Mills? No. Okay, I will move then. Oh, Mr. Staples back. Oh.
I know you're tired of seeing it. It was brought to my attention that it was a public hearing, and the question was raised that I need to be sworn in for this.
This was not a quasi judicial.
I didn't think so, but we just wanted to make sure before we close the meeting.
And I asked that question before the meeting, quasi judicial has to do with land and zoning.
Yes.
Most of the time, so it was not necessary at this time.
Just wanted to make sure.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're moving then for announcements, and I think I'm gonna start with staff tonight, or something a little different. Chief Brody, you have
Good evening. I just wanted to remind everybody that we still have open positions on all of our boards. We have a board for the Citizen Task Force for our CDBG grants. We have our Board of Adjustments and Code Enforcement, and we also have Planning and Zoning. So if anybody's interested, most of those you have to be a Williston resident, but they're extremely important. And I'd love to see some applications come in. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Mr. Bishop. Ms. Nelson. Mr. Siegel, anything else? Dr. Hall?
Yes, ma'am, one more thing. Just wanted to announce the annual pay roast, or biannual pay roast fly-in is April 16th. This one's for you guys. I just wanted one more thing, just to throw out. But anybody and everybody is welcome. We typically have about 130 to 140 airplanes fly in. It's a really good barbecue. It's a fundraiser for our local Experimental Aircraft Association chapter. So if you want to come out, everybody's welcome.
Yeah, it starts at 9:30 or 10 and they get it. The 16th at the airport, April 16th. Always a fun time. Mr. Carson, anything for this agenda? Mr. Carson, anything for this agenda?
No, we're good.
Mr. Barber? Mr. Miller? Mr. Goodman?
Yes.
I know you're not here yet, but what do you want?
You're right. Thank you so much.
I have been on a roof all day putting tar paper on, so I am very tired. I appreciate not having to get up. I would just like to inform everybody that as of today, we have completed the dry-in of the roof and all the framing for the new Williston Animal Shelter.
Great.
The next thing that will happen is plumbers will come tomorrow and shingles will be within the next 2 weeks. That's all.
Mr. Bowles, do you have anything for this agenda? Okay. Mr. Bowler, anything for planning and zoning?
Nothing today.
Mr. Mills?
Negative.
Ms. Wright? Ms. Gorman? Ms. Foley? Start down here, Ms. Hines?
Nope.
Ms. Scott, Ms. Robinson? No, ma'am.
No.
All right, only thing I've got, I was just kind of telling you, that our swearing in is on April 12th at 6 o'clock. We've added the one additional thing to our agenda, other than that, it was supposed to be only that. I also want to tell you that I asked Ms. Wright to get Ms. Jones to come back, Tammy Jones, to come back to this meeting, to talk to us again about moving our date. And I did that on my own, simply because I observed the election process that we had here. And I saw how instrumental she was during that period of time, how much help she was to Ms. Wright. And I know we could have done it without her, but I also know we need her machines, we need her expertise. And if it's gonna come about that presidential primary is on the same day that our election is, I kind of reconsidered that. So I would like for her to present that to us again. And if we turn her down again, we turn her down again. Because obviously it's the majority of us, not just how Deborah has seen things during a full-blown election like we had this past time. Ms. Wright.
Madam President, she would be at the next meeting.
Thank you. Ms. Wright and I have talked about this. She is in full agreement that we need to at least reconsider that. And I thought it best to reconsider it with her here than not. We did, and we decided we didn't want to change it. And we sent her a letter and told her we didn't want to change it. But after observing that election, I really think we need to at least reconsider it, whether we do it or not. She was a lot of help that night, and I was glad she was here, and I know Ms. Wright was too.
So question,
Yes, ma'am.
if you change it and you're on the same date as everyone else, how is she going to be assistant to Ms. Wright if she can't be when it was?
Not everybody has changed. As far as I know, there are only two. Mr. Witt may know better than me, but I think only 2 cities have changed. I know Chiefland did. 4 and 16. 4 cities. 4 of the cities have changed, so I've heard that some had not, but Maybe they all changed their mind now.
It's big cities.
Everybody go to, there's six,
The big cities.
8 cities, so 4 of them have changed the party line. She tells us she will have, and she herself may not be able to be here, but some of her office, from her office would be. That was my initial concern, exactly, was how she's gonna help us if she's gonna do it 8 at one time. And that's where I stood on it, because I wanted to have our own special, because people would know that it was ours. But, like I said, after observing it that night and seeing how intricate it was, and it could have been even more so. But I was really glad she was here, and I know Ms. Wright was as well. So I asked her to come back, and like I said, it's up to you, it's got to be a majority, obviously, but I would like for us to reconsider that. Other than that, I'm going to ask the mayor if he has.
Yes, I do. Last 20 years, we have lived up here in Wilson. And for the past 10 years, I've served on the Charter Review Committee. Served on the Code Enforcement Board, on the council, and the last 4 years as mayor. And all I would like to say is I would like to thank the people of Wilson too, that afforded me that opportunity for service for this city. And with that, I'll bid you adieu.
Hello. Okay, if there is nothing else on this agenda, this is last call. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. We don't have a motion and I have a second. We will adjourn. All in favor of the motion? I don't think I'll get any no's. We will adjourn at 7:30 p.m.